Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is The Frugal Life with Mercedes. Today I'm going to take my suggestion and be like Amy from Frickin' Frugal Mommy. I've got some laundry to fold, so I figured that I would film a video. Not of me folding the laundry necessarily, but I was going to talk to you guys today about thrift stores. So you guys know that I get most of my clothes and a lot of different things secondhand. That's just kind of how I roll. And I've been getting questions about how I get such good deals at thrift stores. Now, I did let someone know in the comments, they were like, the thrift stores are, getting really expensive. And I was like, I agree. They're getting crazy. But kind of as a rule of thumb, I don't normally shop at Goodwill or Salvation Army. I can only speak for the ones near me, and the ones near me, the prices are crazy, and they have been for a really long time. So, and not just that, but it's like, I don't mind paying $12 for a dress. However, they've got stains, they've got pilling, they've got, holes. And I have a girlfriend who never was into thrift stores, and she recently got into them, because she kept seeing all these great things that I was getting. And I've gone thrifting with her, and I'll be like, well, look, they're charging $15 for this, and it's got all these things wrong with it. And she's like, well, maybe they just overlooked that. And then I'll be like, but this too, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I get it secondhand, but it's, it's like, it's not, you can't charge $15 for a Walmart dress with holes and pilling. You just can't, and again, I do find that they'll have things that are, or like a t-shirt from Walmart that cost $6 at Walmart. They're charging $8, and I don't have a problem with clothes from Walmart. You guys know I get stuff from Walmart. But the point is like, you can't charge what they would charge in the store for it brand new, or more. And it's not even in good, you know what I mean? Like, the logic isn't there. So, I hadn't been into Salvation Army in years, and I went with, like I said, this girlfriend of mine, a few weeks back, and I was like, the prices were insane. So I totally agree. Secondhand for me is, what I try to do. But my suggestion is check out like the church ran thrift stores. I know there are 2 thrift stores near me that are the best. And there's a third one that's really good as well, but they kind of don't have as steady of hours. But all 3 of those are associated with a church. And let me think. One of them is actually across the street from the church that it's associated with, and the other one is in the basement of the church. Because I don't remember if I found it or my mother found it, whichever, and we told the other one, we're like, it's literally at that church across from the fire station, and it's in the basement. And then the other one is down the road from the church that it's associated with. But like, all those clothes that I show you, like pretty much all the clothes come from mainly one of those. And they're really awesome prices. And the other thing is too, is that with those, they really tell you where their money is going. Because I've talked about this, but this was years ago. Just because something is a thrift store or a charity doesn't really, you guys need to do your own research, but not all charities are really charitable. They'll say that their money goes towards job programs, but there's no real evidence of that. They say that they help special needs people, but they don't necessarily do. You know what I mean? Like, So I suggest you guys do your own research, and maybe that doesn't matter to you guys, but for me, if you say that the money is going to whoever or whatever program, and then I find out it's not, that's not the reason that I'm shopping there, but it's like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like, I'm not so sure. But that's how you get the best thrift store prices. Again, I don't know what it's like where other people live. I can only speak for where I live, that there is some really good thrift stores, but they're literally like, I don't want to call them holes in the wall, because when you go, they're actually, they're well kept and they're clean and they don't smell, you know what I mean? Like, they're really well kept and taken care of, and all the clothes are in amazing condition. It's very, very rare that I've ever seen anything like not in good condition, because I feel like they pick over the stuff better for some reason. But I do agree that sometimes, thrift stores aren't the best option. It kind of depends, where you're going. And every time I go to the one thrift store, you always have people that are like, have you been to this thrift store recently, this other thrift store recently? And their prices are outrageous. And I'm like, I know. I was like, that's why I come all the way here. So if you guys have been thrifting for a long time, you know how it can be. But if you have never thrifted or are interested in thrifting, I really would encourage it. You know what I mean? Like, go to a couple. You don't even have to buy anything. You don't even have to try anything on. Secondhand is a really good option. One, you are cutting down your environmental impact. Two, you are you're finding unique pieces, and it's a good hunt, and it's really better for you economically, especially if you're going to a reasonably priced thrift store. Because the other weekend I bought myself a couple of dresses and a couple of cardigans, and I think a couple little dresses for my niece, and a couple of shirts for my brothers, and I think I spent like $40, and like got quite a bit of stuff, and they were all in really good condition. And I got a few other things, and then you hear, and then people are spending that on, one shirt, which, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You know me, like you do what works for you. But I grew up going to thrift stores. I did. We went to yard sales. We went to thrift stores. So it's all perfectly normal for me. And, there are some things that people are like, I would never buy this from a thrift store. Well, then don't. If you're not comfortable buying a couch from a thrift store, don't buy a couch from a thrift store, or shoes, or a bathing suit, or whatever. Always do stuff that's in your comfort level. But yeah, I just thought that I would talk about thrift stores a little bit, and because I get people, like, I will, show some, I show some of my thrift store finds, and people are like, I can't believe you got that from a thrift store. And I'm like, I know. And the thing is too about thrift stores, it is a hunt. So there's lots of times that I go and I don't see anything, or I'll be like, oh, I do like this, but that's like out of my price range for what I would be willing to pay for that item. Or sometimes things have, chips in them or whatever, and you're not going to always find something, because that's, it's just like going to any store. You could go to the mall and nothing fits you right, or you're not finding anything that you're looking for, you're not finding anything that's your style. And then there's other times where it's like, I found a bunch of stuff that fit and a bunch of stuff that was my style and what I was specifically looking for. So it's good. And my boyfriend said he was interested in going to the thrift stores with me. I'm not sure if he, I'm pretty sure he didn't grow up going to thrift stores. I've never asked him that specifically. But he sees, stuff that I get, and, or he'll compliment a dress that I'm wearing, and I'll be like, I paid $4 for this at the thrift store. And I'll be like, that's a really nice dress. And I'll be like, I know. So he's like, I'd love to go to the thrift store with you. And he's like, I don't know that I'll find anything. And I was like, I am always down to go to the thrift store. Always down to go. So, you know, yeah, the prices of some thrift stores is getting, well, in the words of my father, they're getting too big for their britches. I mean, you can charge whatever you want, but it seems a little strange that you're getting items for free and then charging a bunch of money, and the item is just going to sit, you know, it's going to sit there. And if you haven't thrift stored, you do have to check everything out, you know. And it's funny because when I go to a regular store to shop, I do the same thing. I check that all the buttons are there. I check that the seams are intact. I check that sucker over. You want to check the hem. Now, like a button, if a button is missing, I will still get it, depending, you know, because that's an easy fix. You know, depending upon what the price is. But I also have several boxes of spare buttons, and I collect buttons and all that. So, you know, to me, a $2 or $3 shirt that's missing a button, but other than that, it's in perfect condition. There you go. But not that I wear buttons buttoned shirts all that much, but that's just an example. So you want to check over stuff. But yeah, when I go to a regular store, if you guys saw me shopping like someplace else, I really am like, okay, the seam is all together, you got all the buttons, there's no stains, and it's just a habit. And I have been in regular stores and buttons have been missing and seams have been messed up and there were stains. Stores in the mall, because, you know, manufacturing mishaps happen. God knows what happens between the factory floor and the shipping and to the store and, you know, all that. So, you know, you just never know. But yes, so if you've been a long time thrifter, you know some of the struggles, but, you know, really try to like get out and see, you know, what there is. And, you know, yard sale season is going to be coming up, and, you know, sometimes yard sales are hit or miss, and different areas have better yard sales, or some areas don't really have yard sales at all. But it's a fun hunt. You know what I mean? It is. So, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. And until next time, bye.